welcome to the stage, from the boys, Karen Fukuhara Kimoko.
Gee, you guys, this is incredible.
And finally, please welcome. Please put your hands together. I want to hear screams from the back of the room. Laz Alonso, Mother's Milk. Do we have a lot of boys fans in the audience? Oh yes we do. Oh yes we do. This show is absolutely an incredible show. I just wanted to start out by asking you all the same question. How did you end up getting cast on the show? What was the audition process in being cast on one of the greatest, most innovative, original superhero shows to ever exist? Let's start all the way at the end. Let's start with Frenchie.
Wow. Can you guys hear me? This is so exciting to be here. Oh my God, thank you all for being here. And for your question, this is actually very emotional and a beautiful moment because this is my second time in Los Angeles. But the thing is, the first time I was here was to book the show.
Wow.
And now being here with you all is just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So thank you for being here.
I heard that you got into a little bit of trouble because of your audition. Is that true?
Oh yeah, I almost got shot in the face when I shot the audition for Frenchie. Shot it back in Tel Aviv with my friend, and I was doing the scene with a gun, obviously, as you know, our Frenchmen, and screaming. Apparently one of the neighbors looked from the shades, kind of saw a crazy guy yelling in French with a gun waving in his hand and called the cops. So the special forces came in, guns drawn. Thank God I was kind of people kind of knew me in Israel, and the guy went, "No, I know that guy, he's an actor." And everybody kind of stopped. So, but the audition worked, and here I am with you guys. So merci beaucoup, and good to see you.
Nice job. I love it. Karen, what about you?
Yes, oh my goodness. How's it going, LA? Wow. This is my first big convention in Los Angeles, and I grew up here, born and raised, and so it's really nice to come back home, and what a warm welcome. I think you're from LA as well. He lives in LA, sorry. Yeah, my audition story. It was funny because Kimiko's not in the pilot episode at all, so when I was sent the original script, yes, I was super confused. It made no sense to me. I said, okay, my character doesn't speak, and she's not in the first episode. What am I getting myself into? But when I started reading the sides and started working on the material for the audition, I kind of felt oddly at home, and it just kind of felt like the right fit. And so even though there were no words on the page, it felt really right to me.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I love that. Well, I mean, you've done an amazing job on the show. Isn't she incredible? She's incredible.
Thank you, guys.
Incredible. So much development. You did such a wonderful job with it. Laz, tell me about Mother's Milk. How'd this happen?
Thank you, Stephen. So it's funny because when I auditioned for this show, I was so depressed in my career because I was on network television for about 4 years at that point. And network TV, you can't cuss. And every character that I played, it's always had edge, it's always been fiery and full of energy, and some roles were super gangster, some roles were, but here on network TV I just had to be clean cut and the good guy, and we saved the day. And I remember when the last show I was on got canceled, I said, I'm not going to audition for anything else unless it's something that I would watch. And it's got to have edge to it. It's got to be something that I would die to see, something that would be my favorite show. I didn't audition for a year. And when this came across my table and I read it, I said, this is the show. I knew it. And to be honest with you, that was the only audition I had that year. I auditioned in December, and by January they told me I got the role, and I didn't audition anymore since then. So, thank you. Yeah. And now I get to cuss every other page of the script. Motherfucker.
Karen, come on. All right, I have a fucking question. It's only fair. What are the other cast members like? Anything memorable about meeting some of the other cast members that you have to work with on the show? When you first met Carl, any fun, weird stories about the rest of the cast?
I mean, I remember my first day on set. Frenchie comes in, second episode in season 1. They flew me in, I didn't know who's who, and then I see this guy sitting outside his trailer looking kind of shady with sunglasses, beard, big ass black coat. Guess you all know who I'm talking about, Carl Urban. And he's sitting there and he's going, oi! And we sit down and we talk, and it couldn't be more nicer. Nothing like what I read about Butcher on the pages. He's the most nicest guy in the world. And then we talked about what we should do between filming. And I go, you know what could be cool? If we can play backgammon. And he said, I'll play for you for $50. So we got a table, and for this moment on, I just want to say though that all of us are addicted to backgammon behind the scenes, rolling and playing every day, all day. And this one, I'm proud to say that she is my little monster. And she's killing me. She's killing me this season, guys. I'm dead. I'm like, no, it's not good.
I will say I've had some wins. Well, we have to do like a tournament one day with the fans.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, that would be a fun one.
I'll let you have that.
Yeah.
I'm tired of getting beat on set by you anyway. Me, it was discovering the hard way that Carl Urban likes to play practical jokes. Season 1, I don't know if you guys follow us on our social media. I'm at Laz Official, by the way. Anybody else want to drop their social media?
I don't know what my social media is.
Tomer Capone, at Tomer Capone.
Karen Fukuhara.
At Karen Fukuhara, at Laz Official. Anyway, so we were playing a practical joke on Carl. Season 1, Carl used to love taking selfies. He'd always take these real sexy, like sultry selfies.
Oh my God, it's so good.
And in all these different, like wherever we were on a set, you'd look over and you'd see Carl just like juicing up, like he's like, and then he'd do his little smiles and stuff. So he would take these selfies, and so that day I just decided, I said, let me mess with Carl. You know, I've heard rumors that he likes the practical joke. So I said, I talked to the castmates, I said, let's take the exact same selfie in the exact same location that Carl did it. So not only did the entire cast do the selfie, but the crew did the selfie too. I didn't think it was gonna get that crazy. The craft service people were doing the selfie. The people that work on the trailers were doing the selfie. Everybody, the PAs, everybody did the selfie, and everybody posted it and tagged Carl. And then Carl found out who started it. That season was the season that I had to fight Love Sausage.
What a great day for me.
It was a wonderful day. It was so funny.
Now, in the original script, Mother's Milk didn't have to fight Love Sausage. Mother's Milk just saw Love Sausage and said, damn, brother gotta love sausage. And that was it. By the time Carl Urban finished talking to Eric Kripke on the line, Mother's Milk was getting strangled by a 12-foot penis. So don't ever get in a practical joke war with Carl Urban. That's my warning.
But look how good of a friend Laz is, because when Carl did that to him, and me and Karen was on set for the penis fight, Les came with a brilliant idea. He said, I mean, Frenchie and Kimiko's right there. Shouldn't Frenchie pitch in? Maybe you should bite it. And guess what? They loved it. But you never see it. You know why? If you want to tell, you can tell them yourself.
Well, listen, I have a picture of him biting the penis. I just never...
We have proof.
Can we get, and this is that picture. Let's put it up on the screen.
I just never
Let's
released
put it
it. I never released it because I was like, I might need it one day if Frenchie gets out of line. So this phone right here is my protection against this man.
You better not lose it now.
No, sir.
Yeah, Laz, you got covered in a lot of bodily
You
fluid
brought that upon yourself. You
this
brought that
season,
upon yourself.
an enormous amount. I don't have a question for that. I'm sorry. I just feel bad.
So that's round 2. Eric Kripke 2, Mother's Milk 0. That situation, Kripke called me and he said, listen, I know how you feel about last season with Love Sausage. He's like, this season, you know, Mother's Milk is gonna get covered, you know, in some bodily fluid. And I asked him, I said, listen, okay, is it gonna be like female bodily fluid? Like, and he's like, yeah, sure. And so I was like, oh, okay, I get it, trust me, you know? So I go on Pornhub, full disclosure, and so I start sending Kripke ideas of what it could possibly look like. And so he's going back, he's like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. And then I'm like, oh yeah, well how about this one? This one goes 12 feet long. I start sending him all this stuff. So then Kripke's going along with it. So then one day we're shooting, we're out at, remember Countess, Crimson Countess had the chimpanzee farm thingamajiggy?
Yes.
So we're filming with Soldier Boy, Carl, Jack, and myself. We're shooting that sequence, and I had to go to the bathroom. The porta potties were way far away from set, so I said, I'm just gonna go around the back of the trailer and relieve myself. And when I go back there, I see the 2 of the special effects guys looking at their phones and laughing hysterically. They had gone back there to relieve themselves too, right? So when I come back around and they see that, you know, it was me, they're like, oh, Laz, we've mastered the gag. I'm like, what gag? They're like, the hero-gasm gag. I was like, oh, cool, let me see it. So when they show it to me, it's this thick, white, sticky, gooey. I said, bro, that's not it. That's not how it's supposed to look. I said, it has to be more liquidy. Like, I sent Eric the references from Pornhub. You guys got it all wrong. They're like, no, Eric told us this is how it should be. I said, nah, man, like, that's just not how female ejaculate looks. They're like, female ejaculate? No, that's not what this is. And then when I was gonna correct them, it hit me. I was like, Kripke got me again. He got me again. And sure enough, man, like, you know. But listen, wasn't that a good scene? This season when I came back, and I had my wardrobe in my closet, and I opened my closet, they had the old Mother's Milk dried up crusty coat in there as a welcome back gift. So, there it is. It was crusty.
I have heard a rumor that Frenchie and Kimiko have a secret handshake. Is that true?
Oh shit.
Would you do it would you reveal it to LA Comics?
What's your
How did
source,
you-
man? You're good.
That's so
Look, I'm very good at things, so
Because we forgot about it from season 1, I think, and then we just learned the edited version last week. We did it on set together. Do we remember it?
I work on a podcast called, oh, wait. Let's do it.
We can't do it. We can't do it. No,
Come on, come on.
No,
Come
we
on,
don't
show
remember
us.
it. We don't remember it.
Make it up.
Laz, we can do our secret handshake. That's fine if you want.
Oh.
Totally. Nailed it. Nailed it. Yeah, I work on a podcast called The Nighttime Show, and we have researchers that work on our show, and they dig so deep. They try to find all the little things. Like, for example, Karen, you have a video game coming out.
Yes! It's called Callisto Protocol.
Yes, can you tell us about Callisto Protocol? I've heard
Thank
amazing
you.
things about it.
Thank you so much for bringing that up. I am in a video game called Callisto Protocol. It came out yesterday, and you can play it on any console of your choice. Yeah, woo!
Nice.
It's this horror-based game made by Glenn Schofield, who did the cult classic Dead Space. So, if you're a big horror fan, please go play it. It's out now. Yes.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
That's so great.
Yeah.
This season, Karen, you got to kill a bad guy with an item
Oh yes.
that
Which
has never
item? Which
happened.
item?
Yes, it was a very special item.
Yes.
What's been your favorite as far as like your attacks, the attacks that you've done on the show, on other people, your fights? What's been your favorite fight so far?
You know, up till season 2, it was definitely like the face pull and the eye gouge.
Anything hands-on was super satisfying to me. But
Just a simple face and eye
yeah,
gouge.
just a little facelift, whatever. But season 3, we got to work with some beautiful dildos. So yeah, I enjoyed doing that. The Frenchie double, Jeff, our beloved Jeff. He's been with us since season 1. He got to play one of the Russian mobsters in the dildo fight, and he's the one that gets stabbed in the eye with a dildo.
Oh my God, that's amazing!
He's amazing. We love Jeff. We love Jeff. Give it up for Jeff.
He took an eye infection for that one.
He did. He actually did. Yeah, he actually did.
Okay, so of all the powers that you could possibly have, I know this is like such a fun question, but of all the powers that you could have on the show, is there anyone in particular, something that you watch happen, you've seen, on an episode, and you go, now that would be the way to do it, if I could just, one time.
For me, it's got to be the Deep. I think he has the weirdest, most ridiculous story you can ever, come on. And he does cool stuff. They bring animatronic dolphins and octopuses and what? I dig that character. I think JC's doing an amazing job with that character, and it's probably so much fun to play.
It's one of those TV shows where it doesn't happen to me a lot, but where I'm watching a show and I just yell out, "Oh my God! Oh my God!" I'm alone. And I have a very fat pug at home, and she just looks up and is terrified of what I'm saying. I'm always blown away. Like when he crashed the boat into the whale.
Yes.
Moments like that, or when he was having sex with the octopus. I mean, these are moments that have never been captured on film before. And then they happen, and you guys are a huge part of that. I mean, capturing new moments that have not been on television before is a fascinating thing. You know,
a funny bit about the octopus. So we have a trailer called the prosthetic trailer, where we go to to do all our makeup stuff, our serious, and they have like a window behind it, and they put the octopus back in the window. So you'll get your own makeup, but the octopus is always looking at you on the back. It's hilarious. Just hilarious.
And his gills.
This season, I can say that we're gonna have some stuff you've never seen before again.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I didn't think that after the whale, I didn't think we could do it, and then we did it with Herogasm. This season, I think we're gonna top that.
Wow,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yes, stuff you've never seen before. Yeah.
You know, you're saying, and I'm just thinking about the scene that we are going back to shoot next
Yes.
week, which is.
And that's one of them. That's only one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a difficult thing working on a show where everyone wants to know what's happening next, and you just have to keep the secrets of the show between the cast? Is that a difficult thing to do?
Not really.
No?
No, because I love to see the reaction and the surprise of everyone, especially like when they start hitting me up on social media. It's like all of a sudden my phone just lights up, and it's like, yep, they watched it. They watched it. Or like, for example, Ant, who plays Homelander, Anthony Starr. Like this guy is like literally gone viral for every facial expression he makes. There's a meme for every scene for Ant. And it's dope. Like just now, Metro Boomin dropped a hip hop album, and the beginning of one of the tracks is Homelander's speech. So it's like those kind of moments just really makes me feel like we're contributing to pop culture. We're contributing to just making noise in a very noisy world right now.
Yeah.
And that's what art should do, man. Art should make noise. It should make people think. It should make people feel. And I'm happy to be a part of something that makes people feel.
Yeah, I mean, to break through all the other things that are happening on TV constantly with a show that surprises in every episode. There's something exciting and something that's a big surprise. Is there anything, like Karen, is there anything that has stuck with you where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe we got to do that?
I always really love watching the scenes that we're not in, because it almost feels like I'm watching a completely different show, right? You read the scripts, but you forget the small moments. And I especially love like all the social commentary that we have through the lens of like was it the Pepsi commercial that A-Train did?
Oh my God, brilliant.
And all of the gun control commercials that we had done through Homelander, like things like that. It's just really fun to watch what's in the media like reflect back on our show.
Yeah, I love that. That's so great. What about you, Tomar?
Oh, what was the question?
Has there been any moments that have stuck with you that you go, I can't believe we got to do that?
I mean, it's happening right now, filming season 4, you guys. I promise you, it's just getting weirder and weirder. But other than that, I just want to join what Les says. It's so true. You know what? To be a part of this show and this time, it's just coming in the superhero genre from a different angle. It feels so refreshing, and we feel the love from you guys. So it's amazing to go and do the job knowing now that you have our backs, to give you the fourth season, man.
I think we can all give them a big round of applause just because creating superhero characters on an original show without Marvel and without DC is just an extremely amazing thing. Like, that does not happen very often, and it really is an amazing move.
For your question, memorable things are just, actually, it's behind the scenes with us. I mean, you guys have to understand, it's like as an actor to be in that show, it's rarely when we feel so comfortable. We're family, basically, behind the scenes, on the scenes. So it's just those little experiences and getting even to do this together. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. And I think it's a big part of what makes the boys the boys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What up?
Yeah. Let's take some questions from the audience. I'm going to bring out right now my co-producer from my podcast. from the nighttime show, Matt Walker. Give him a giant round of applause. He's gonna have to take questions from you folks. So
He's got questions. He's got questions. Here we go.
All right.
Right here, in the red, right here.
Hi, my name is Abby. Nice to meet you. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Okay, so my question: is there any part of the characters you play on the series that you see reflect on your day-to-day lives?
is there any? Say it again.
Is there any part of the characters that you play on the series that you see reflect on your day-to-day lives?
Yeah, that's a good question.
There it is.
Any parts of the character that you see reflected in your real life?
I'm not sure if a lot of the deadly Kimiko moments reflects back to my life. But I will say, I think, you know, because we have been able to be with the same cast and crew for 4 years now, and maybe more like 5 because of the pandemic. The like friendship between Frenchie and Kimiko is very much like a real life thing.
Let's try it.
Let's fucking do it. Yeah, do it. Oh yeah, wait.
Yes.
There we go. All right, Matt, let's get another good question. We got another good question.
Right here. Okay, here in the leather jacket.
I was wondering if there's a cast member that you wish you could work with more.
Is there a cast member you wish you could work with more?
That's a good one.
For me, again, knowing those guys like outside, I know how talented they are, and seeing their bits and pieces. Like Karen said, it's a whole different show with the soups. I would die to work with each and every one of them. Like, I can't even start picking one. Everyone has such a unique angle on their character and does such an amazing work. So I'm like, yes, I want to work with you and you and you and everyone. But
I want to answer that too. I'd like, at some point, them to do a play on Homelander finding out that my name is Mother's Milk. And seeing what happens, right? Like, would he like that? Would we become friends?
Is it romance?
Could it be a problem? You never know what could happen. You know what I'm saying? So, I think I should pitch that, right?
Yeah.
You know, a Mother's Milk Homelander team up.
Be careful though what you wish for.
I know, man. Those laser eyes. Yeah.
Liquids.
Those
milk.
laser eyes are dangerous.
I love that. That's so great. All right, let's grab another question.
Okay, 1 second. It's just being signed to me right now, so hold on. Do we have the question? Okay.
All right.
We'll take it out and we'll come right back to you guys, all right? Right here. Let's go to you.
Hi, my name is Andrea. I just wanted to say, Karen, I love you so much. I literally came
Hi.
just to see you.
Oh, thank you so
Such a big
much.
fan.
Hi.
Nice.
My question is, what is the weirdest real life experience you've had with a fan, whether you've seen them like in a drive-thru or like in a convenience store? What is your funniest and weirdest fan interaction?
Oh, I'm trying to think. I feel like a lot of the fans have been really, really lovely. Like, I haven't had any terrible, like, crazy, scary experiences. I'm trying to think of the weirdest one. Oh, you know what? When I was doing Suicide Squad, I've had several people get, like, my autograph or my character tattooed on themselves. And so I think that was probably the furthest I've seen of like the fandom going. I'm always like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, this is permanent. Like, do you want to think about it? But yeah, that's been really cool.
yeah, I got one too.
Yeah, it's on his ass.
She made me do it.
Yeah. I had a gun to his head.
Laz, any weird fan experiences?
So, at one point, there was a fan that went from fan to, I don't want to say stalking, but somehow this person found out everywhere I was going to be and would show up. And I remember being at my best friend's Christmas party, it was at his house. And somehow she ended up at his house at this Christmas party. That freaked me out. But that was like, yeah, that was my weird situation.
I was on, I mean, this is not really for me, this is a question for them, but I was on Nickelodeon for 5 years on a series called Big Time Rush. That show ended about 8 years ago, and I'm single, and I matched with a woman, and we talked, and she was like, I never saw the show, I never saw it. And then when she showed up at my front door, she was live streaming
No way.
on Instagram, and then ran around my home going, I'm in his home! And filming everything. And I was like, oh, she's doing a bit. And then I was like, this is not a bit. This is not a bit.
That's not cool.
Yeah, I threw my phone in the ocean. Next question.
All right, question is for Karen.
Hi.
Hi, yeah, so my question is, with your experience, why are you, I noticed that you tend to take on these types of roles with comic book characters such as DC, Suicide Squad, The Boys. What fascinates you about taking on these kinds of characters that are comic book related?
Oh.
That's a great question.
Yes, good question.
That's really good. What fascinates you about taking on these kinds of characters?
You know, I'd like to think that, yes, I do take on a lot of characters that are on the quieter side. But what I love about each and every one of them is that they're all very, very badass, and they can really hold their own. And especially in The Boys, Kimiko not only has her own backstory, but Kripke was able to create an arc for her. So she's not just this silent killer, which is sort of a trope that a lot of Asian actors fall into. But she's able to really stand her ground within this ensemble cast. And so yeah, that's sort of why I love the character, and I love Kimiko. Thank you so much.
Great one. Great question. Nice job.
All right. Next question here, Stephen.
Yeah. Good. Great. Next question.
Hi. Okay, so my question is, even though
My parents are from Japan. Yes. Bye. Thank you.
We got a follow-up. Nice. Very good. Sweet.
Are you ready, Stephen?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
So even though you wouldn't know what your power would be, if offered in real life, would you take Compound V?
Hell yeah. In a heartbeat. I wouldn't think twice.
Of course. Of course. Take the red pill. Red pill, blue pill.
Take the V.
Take the V.
Take the V pill.
Take the V. Next.
So Mary, you would take the V. You know you would take the V. 100%.
Love it. Love it. All right. What do we got, Matt? What do we got?
Over here. Hey, big fan. I was just wondering, what were you guys' favorite behind-the-scenes moments between you guys?
Favorite behind-the-scenes moments.
Backgammon tables flying, people are cursing. It's no.
You mean when you do it or when Carl does it?
Huh?
When you or Carl?
Well, all of us, I mean, in a way. Favorite stuff. I don't want to talk about the smelly stuff.
Smelly stuff. Oh.
Wow.
That's like watching, like you say, you watch a show and you go, oh God, oh God. That's how we go behind the scenes.
Oh my.
Someone used to drink a lot of flavored seltzer water, and it would turn into a very gaseous experience. We're not going to say any names.
Oh.
But they're not sitting at this table.
No, but we play with each other around. Like I stole mother's milk cow, like a figurine of a cow, haven't returned it back. She's still a hostage, so if you want her back. No, you did get her back.
You gave me a new one because the one you stole, you broke her legs off.
I did.
So.
I don't want to know why.
Use the picture. He said, use the picture.
All right, I guess this is, oh my God. Okay, I guess this is all to the cast members, but what would you say is your most favorite scene to film from the last season?
Favorite scene to film from the last season?
Oh, it's got to be the musical sequence.
For me too. It was surreal. It was, I mean, guys, listen, one day you're covered in blood, people are shouting all around you like ah, rah, rah. And then another day, me and Karen are standing in the middle of a colorful hospital, 30 dancers behind us going stretching, going like,
Everyone's happy. We're like, where are we?
where are we? What is this show?
Oh, that musical was
it was so
incredible.
nice. It was so beautiful, and then we get to work our asses out.
What was the rehearsal process like on doing a musical number on a show?
We were drilling the musical number like for a few weeks, right? 3 to 4 weeks.
Did you have a choreographer for that?
Yeah, Amy. She was a wonderful choreographer. She is working on something this season as well, but won't say what. I kid you not, the first day that we were in rehearsals, I had a slight thought of like, I don't think we can do this. Neither of us have like dance backgrounds, so it was a little difficult.
But to be honest about that sequence, you know, guys, as an actor, I don't like watching myself that much on screen. It's weird. It's just a weird experience. But I did love to watch my action beats, like the big action beats. It's cool. And now a new thing for me is I can watch myself dance. Like, I don't mind that. So dancing and fighting, that works.
I love it. That's great.
Thank you.
All right, next question. What do we got? Make it a good one, Matt.
Hello, you guys are freaking awesome, by the way. How was it feeling filming the season 3 finale? What was the atmosphere? How was that?
That was great. You know, for me it was great because there were so many moments where Mother's Milk got to go one-on-one, head-to-head against Soulja Boy. And for me it was just a strong, powerful moment where a person with no powers can stand up to somebody with superpowers. And at the end of the day, you know, it's really what our show is about, is that everybody is a superhero. It's really your heart. You know, and so last season I felt like MM was all heart, and he was finally able to overcome something that's been haunting him for the last, you know, his entire life. So it felt good to kind of release that, you know, and this season, while MM still has his quirks, it's a different character. You know, so it's fun now to play, you know, hence, you know, a different look and everything. It's fun to play somebody who has grown from when you first introduced to him. You know, he finally faces his trauma, and now he's free of it.
I mean, that really brings up an interesting point. What is something that your character learned or went through in this season that you feel like will be carried over into the next season? Something that will change, that has changed the character to a new place?
I could jump in if you guys are thinking.
Yeah, go for it.
For me, it's an easy question. Is MM's biggest role from season 1 to season 3 was his loyalty to Butcher.
Right.
He only came back because Butcher asked him to come back. He really was happy being home, taking care of his family. And in season 3, Butcher double-crossed him.
Right.
And if you've ever experienced, you know, the only person that can really hurt you, an enemy can't really hurt you because you see it coming a mile away. You're expecting it. The pain that hurts the most is when it comes from somebody you trust and somebody you love. And when Butcher did what he did, aligning himself with Soulja Boy, MM's mortal enemy, if any, none of the boys know who Soulja Boy was to MM except Butcher. And for him to do that, he broke a cardinal rule of friendship, man. He broke that trust. So season 4, while I can't tell you what's going on, you obviously have to expect that their relationship isn't the same, and will it ever be the same?
Yeah, I get that. What do you guys?
Yeah, I think in season 3, Kimiko really had to go through her own like self-discovery circuit, and you know she's really felt like in her entire life everything bad that had happened to her was because of everyone else. And then at the end of season 3, she realizes that she needs to own up to the things that she has done, her own actions, and she has to figure out where she wants to take her own life, and whether she wants to be this like monster that she thinks she has become. And in season 4, without giving away too much, she definitely keeps going and keeps exploring within those boundaries as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I think Frenchie, obviously season 3, facing up with his demons and whatnot, and it's just beautiful to me what the writers have done coming into season 4. No spoilers, but it's just, the boys were always against the soups and the way they, control media, whatnot, everything. And as time passed by, Frenchie really asks himself, are the boys that different from the soups? And dealing with the V and everything that happened in season 3, and it's gonna get messier and much more deeper and interesting. That question in season 4, so I can't wait for you guys to see it.
I gotta say, before we take our last question, I'm gonna just say this real quick. Personally, I asked if I could host this panel because I am such a massive fan of you guys, such a huge fan of the show, and the only person from the cast I've ever had any sort of run-in with was Carl Urban, and it was at Break Room Cafe in Burbank. I park my car, I walk in, he is incredibly intimidating. He's sitting by himself with a, black cup of coffee. He's like, not interested in speaking to anyone, wasn't looking at anybody. He was just on his own, on his phone, by himself. And I look over, I go, oh my God, this guy's so intimidating. I want to talk to him so bad. And I start walking over him, but I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous to walk over to him. And I'm getting closer and closer. And then he looks up, he smiles, looks past me, and then I hear this voice, please move. And I move out of the way, and it was Al Pacino.
No way!
Coming to sit with Carl Urban at some bullshit cafe in Burbank. And he's like, Carl, how are you? Great to see you. Looking great. And he's like, hey, and they talked, and I was just like, and I'm out. And I just like went back and got in my car. But it was like the closest. I like literally saw him look at me and then look right past at Al freaking Pacino. So I'm very happy to be able to sit with you guys. As a fan, I love you guys.
Season 4, guys. She knows.
I do.
No, I think I answered it. The deep. Yeah, deep. Yeah,
deep. Good one. Good question. Good one. Well done.
I'd say Butcher. I like Butcher. I especially like Butcher's accent. Like, I started season 1, I started this tradition where every time we got a new script, I would read the title of the script in Butcher's voice. This oil of lies and lies of lies. It's like, and now I do it every single script. It's almost like good luck. Like, I know it's gonna be a good show when I read it in Butcher's voice. And I don't know, he's got a dope character, man. He gets to be free and reckless and a hot mess, And Mother's Milk's always behind him like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, don't fuck up, don't fuck up. I have to be responsible. The adult in the room.
I love. Well, shout it out. Let people know where they can find you on the interwebs if you have any social medias.
At Laz Official. At Laz Official.
Oficial.
Oficial.
Gracias. Karen Fukuhara.
Yeah,
spelled this way, very easy.
Same.
At Karen Fukuhara?
At Karen Fukuhara.
Yeah.
Perfect. You can always get me at Stephen Glickman, Stephen Glickman. My booth is right there.
Yeah.
It says the nighttime show. It's got big pictures of my stupid face. Come on over. Billy Zane is in the booth right now, who is on The Boys. He's in there from Titanic signing autographs, so come on over. Booth 854 at the nighttime show booth. I love you guys so much. I'm Stephen Kramer Glickman. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much for being